Well, hello, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host for this evening, and my name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night, we talked about not my country, and how all Western governments are flooding our countries with people from cultures that are so different from our own, with a completely different set of social values, social skills, completely different customs, completely different traditions, and completely different religions, that not only do we have nothing in common with these folks, but our cultures can do nothing but collide and explode when they encounter each other. And we would ask ourselves, why would our own governments do this to us? Civil war, more specifically, race war. Any excuse for us to call for help, to call on our masters to bring in their foreign armies, their foreign troops, their private armies, the New World Order. We will all be lost, alone, helpless, in total chaos, and we will, they hope, we will cry and beg and scream for their help, for relief, and then our merciful masters will come to our rescue. And all we have to do is give up everything that we are. Give up all of our rights, all of our liberties, all of our beliefs. Give up everything we have, and we'll be safe. Safe from the wars that the masters actually created, because we were stupid enough to believe it. Tonight, I thought we would chat about never use magic. Now, it's an ancient teaching that even though you might have been taught how to use magic, you never should. Why? Well, because you're dealing with something so powerful, so far beyond what you or I, mere mortal creatures that we are, we just can't comprehend it. We see today, for example, the effects of using the descendant of magic, science, at the hands of our moron masters and their senseless gibbering attack on the sovereign nation of Japan, a country that they defeated more than a year ago, back in 2010, with the first attack on the first nuclear reactor. The Japanese folded. They gave up control of their economy to Western bankers, to our masters, and yet they were attacked again. This is senseless. This is a gibbering, mad, senseless attack on a foreign nation. And Japan had surrendered. We're seeing the effects of how the out-of-control HARP weapon effects are now, after the earthquake they caused in Japan, the effect is escalating, and it's spreading around the Pacific Rim of Fire. Sorry, this makes me mad, so I have to stop and think for a second. It's criminally stupid beyond anything imaginable. Magic is the same. The best way to explain this is, let's say, by example. Let's say you know magic. Let's say you're standing in New York City, in Manhattan, and you are able, with your bippity-boppity-boo, you're able to change a stoplight from red to green and leave it that way. So now you've just thrown one stoplight out of sync with all the other stoplights in Manhattan. Can you see the effect? Well, standing there on the corner, you can see what the effect is on the traffic on that corner. But what about the effect on the rest of the city? You can't see it because you're on the ground on the corner and you're surrounded by really tall buildings, so you need to get higher. You find the tallest building you can and you look down. Now you can see the effect that your magic, your little spell, had on that one stoplight and how it's affecting all the streets locally to that stoplight, now that all the lights are out of sync and the traffic is backing up. Okay, but you still can't see the entire effect. You got to get higher. Rent a plane, little one-engine propeller plane, and now you're flying several thousand feet above New York City. And now you can see the effect of your magic on parts of the city. But there's still, buildings in the way. They're blocking your complete view. So you have some idea of what's going on, but you can't, again, see everything. Now you get into a commercial jetliner, and it flies you over the city. So now you're at 32,000 feet, and we're assuming that you have really excellent eyesight because, after all, you're a witch. And now you can see what your one little traffic light changing color out of order is doing to all of New York. There's chaos, confusion, ambulances are blocked, beer trucks are stalled, fire trucks cannot reach anybody. It's a mess. From the one change you made to one little stoplight. Okay, you see everything. So now you need a space shuttle. So you borrow a titanium-plated space shuttle from Los Alamos. Don't worry, they've got stairs. And now you're in orbit above the United States. That one little traffic light you put a magic spell on, now affecting traffic into and out of the entire city, the entire state. Critical medical supplies are being blocked and can't reach the hospitals. Vegetables are rotting on trucks. Ice cream a gallon because the refrigerator trucks carrying it have run out of fuel. Because the gas holders can't get into the city to refill the gas. But you still cannot see the entire effect. What about the other side of the planet? Well, my point is this. You cannot see everything. And therefore you have no way of knowing what one little piece of magic will really do. Just like using the harp as a weapon to create an earthquake in Japan, to bring down its government so you, a Western banker, can take control. You burn whales with your harp weapon. Whales that just happen to get in the way. Now those whales, they've been cooked by the energy wave, the burst of energy, and it's microwave energy. Now these now beach themselves and die rather than drown because they've been cooked straight through. And those medical supplies that never reached New York, your dog just died. She was hit by a car that was trying to get around the traffic jam, and she had to be carried to the hospital. Why? Because the ambulances were blocked. And when she got to the hospital, she had a brain hemorrhage because she ran out of the drugs that would normally have stopped the blood clotting. And the rest of the planet, well, people didn't make their flights. Jobs were never finished, contracts were never made, shipments never arrived. People died. So never use magic. You don't know enough. You can't see enough. You are not God. For all of us here at the 2012fad.com, this is Charlie Bluehawk, wishing you a really good day and reminding you, please, keep at least one good thought. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel finding his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race, their black magic, captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.